It can be rather difficult to deal with difficult people, don't you think? This is the reason behind Renée Evenson's writing. Powerful phrases for dealing with difficult people. She wants to provide you with the skills you need to navigate those difficult talks. Imagine being at ease and self-assured even in hot situations. This synopsis will dissect Evenson's guidance and provide you with useful expressions you may utilize immediately. Ready to give up worrying about challenging individuals? Now, let's get going. Kindly click the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. The first chapter is named Communicating Effective Phrases. Evenson teaches us how to resolve disputes and difficult situations using effective language. The chapter's main goals are to help readers understand why some dispute resolution strategies don't work and how using particular language can produce better results. We'll look at starting phrases as well as terms for comprehension, regret, accommodation, settlement, and harmony. Consider yourself engaged in a collaborative project where a colleague and you are at odds over a deadline. You think you're on track, but they think you missed the deadline? If not handled properly, this could spark a furious dispute. You may use a sentence from this chapter such as, "I realize that you're anxious about the deadline," instead of leaping into blame or defensiveness. Together, let's go over the timeline to identify any potential misalignments. The following are the key lessons this chapter imparts to us. First, start your sentences with the pronoun I to convey your emotions or point of view. By doing this, you can stop the other person from being defensive. I feel frustrated when deadlines are missed, for instance. Second, expressions of comprehension. Recognize the perspective of the other person to demonstrate empathy. Say something like, "I recognize your worries regarding the project's advancement." Chapter 2. Actions that strengthen effective phrases. The author delves further into dispute resolution techniques and stresses the value of clear communication. We'll look at the variations between frequently ineffective and more effective approaches. The chapter focuses on how specific behaviors and strategies can intensify or diffuse a disagreement. Suppose that during a meeting, a coworker offers a scathing critique of your work. You may answer in a more positive way rather than reacting defensively or angrily. Saying something like, "Thank you for your feedback. Could you please point out the areas in which my work needs to be improved?" What details does this chapter provide? First, steer clear of common pitfalls. Too many dispute resolution techniques end up making things worse rather than better. Placing blame or making accusations, for instance, can exacerbate the issue. The chapter stresses the need to remain composed and solution-focused while cautioning against these counterproductive techniques. Number 2. Effective communication. When expressing your wants and opinions, use language that is kind and straightforward. Sayings like, "I see where you're coming from, but here's my perspective," can aid in understanding and closing gaps. 5 Steps to Effective Conflict Resolution is the title of Chapter 3. It focuses on the impact of expressions of regret. The correct apology can ease tension, demonstrate respect, and mend broken relationships. The chapter covers the appropriate times and methods for apologizing, as well as the distinctions between real and insufficient expressions of regret. Imagine your coworkers were more stressed out as a result of you missing a crucial deadline on a group project. Saying, "I'm truly sorry for missing the deadline," is a better course of action than dismissing it or offering an explanation. I am aware that it caused issues for all parties involved, and I am developing a plan to ensure that it doesn't occur again. Here are several strategies we ought to understand. First and foremost, be genuine. Sincerity is the foundation of a sincere apology. Steer clear of generalizations like, "I apologize if I offended you." Rather, express your regret in detail by saying something like, "I apologize for the inconvenience caused by missing the deadline." Number 2, recognize the effect, acknowledge the impact your actions had on the other person. Sayings such as, "I recognize that my error caused additional work for you," demonstrate your appreciation for the results of your actions. Chapter 4, Powerful Phrases for Challenging Coworker Situations, is the title. It looks at the art of compromise and how both sides can achieve a win-win solution by utilizing the proper language. When there is a disagreement and neither party can have what they want, compromise is necessary to find a solution. This chapter discusses how to effectively convey that you're willing to cooperate and establish a common ground. Let's say that you and a colleague have different approaches to a project. Although neither of you is ready to give up completely on their notion, you both think your approach is the best. Saying something like, "I see the value in your approach," would be preferable to adamantly defending your position. Can we mix parts of the two approaches to come up with a solution that benefits us both equally? What knowledge is so affected by this chapter? First, be open. Let others know that you're prepared to work things out. Expressions such as "I'm open to exploring different options" facilitate communication and assist create a cooperative atmosphere. Number 2, concentrate on shared objectives. Place a focus on common goals to foster togetherness. For example, we want to finish this project successfully. How can we both modify our approaches to accomplish it together? The title of Chapter 5 is Effective Words for Tough Conversations with Your Supervisor. The author concentrates on utilizing particular words to close deals and move on when resolving disputes. This chapter discusses how to convey solutions, guarantee mutual satisfaction, and guarantee that agreements are implementable and long-lasting. Let's imagine there has been discord on the project on who is responsible for what between you and a team member. You come to a compromise and then have a discussion. Say something like, "We've decided that I'll handle the client presentations and you'll focus on the research," to wrap things up. By the end of today, I'll send a summary of our assignments. Let's follow up the following week to make sure everything is going as planned. What specifics is this chapter going to provide? First, clearly state the agreement. Ensure that all sides comprehend and concur on the solution. Say something like, "To sum up, we've decided that you'll handle the design and I'll handle the marketing." Is that accurate? Number 2, describe particular actions. Specify exactly what each person will do to put the resolution into action. For instance, "I will prepare the draft by Friday, and you will review it over the weekend." Strong words for circumstances you cause is the title of Chapter 6. Evenson talks about how crucial reconciliation is to settling disputes and repairing bonds between people. The chapter focuses on the use of particular language that addresses the resolution while also mending and fortifying the relationship between the parties. It's about putting the disagreement behind us in order to rebuild harmony and trust. Imagine that you and your colleague were both feeling tense after a furious argument over project decisions. Once the problem has been resolved, you may wish to patch things up. You may add that "I'm happy that we were able to resolve the conflict. I appreciate your viewpoint and hope that our productive collaboration can continue." What can we learn from this chapter? First, acknowledge the impact of the fight. Take note of any potential impacts the fight may have had on the partnership. Use words such as, "I understand that our disagreement might have strained our working relationship, and I'm sorry for any discomfort it caused." Second, express gratitude. Express your appreciation for the other person's willingness to find a solution. For example, "Thank you for being open to discussing this and finding a solution together." There you have it then. A brief look at how to approach those difficult talks. Recall that the key is selecting the appropriate words. Through repetition of these words, you will become more adept at being composed and confident. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.